Hi, I haven't done a video for a little while, so I thought I'd do another one. All about planning. I think it is really, really important getting some form of planning in. I talk about it quite a lot in group, and for some people planning might be just that one day. It might be planning a week, a month, 6 weeks in advance. It's absolutely your choice how you do it, but I just thought I'd show you what I do when it comes to planning. Right then, so some of the tools that I need when I'm planning, I always have my laptop open with my Tesco shop ready to go. I've already been putting a few things on. My meal planner, so I use the journal and I really do love my journal. So again, it's popping down what things you've got coming up in the week ahead, because when you've got things that could potentially get in your way, if you're not aware of them or we forget about them, then it's just going to be something that can just put a spanner in the works. So I always put down what items I've got coming up. So this week Rob's going to be away, so that will be slightly different. I'm out on Saturday. I've got a district meeting up in Salisbury for the whole of Sunday, and then I'm out for a meal on Sunday evening. I'm out for coffee with some friends for a birthday on Friday. So there's lots going on apart from the normal working week. And then of course the other thing that I tend to do is just try and get a bit of inspiration. So that can come from a variety of places. You can see here I've got a load of things. So New magazine is out tomorrow, and it's fantastic. It's the November-December issue, which is just a little bit scary, and it comes with a fantastic food lovers calendar as well, which is lovely. There's already some things that I've seen that I want in there. So you can see there's a few Slimming World magazines. I've got some Slimming World cookbooks there as well. But actually, I use other cookbooks as well. So I've got Jamie Oliver ones. We've got millions of cookbooks around the house. But just because they're not Slimming World doesn't mean to say that I can't food optimise the meal. There might be a few changes, but that's possible to do that. The other thing, like I say, when it comes to having my planner so I can mark what things we've got coming up, I always have my calendar there as well, just so that I can look at what things I've got coming up. So I'll spend some time having a look through the magazines, the books, and trying to find some inspiration. And then I do that in conjunction with my Tesco shop. So I have my planner out and I'll have already worked, because Rob works split shifts and he's not in every meal. And then obviously I'm out at group on some days and I've got other things coming up. I'll tend to, on the meal planner bit of the book, if I just grab that there like that, it'd probably be back to front here, but I'll put little R's on it so I know when the times that Rob's about, so whether we're eating together, because that will change on possibly what we're having, because I can make a bigger meal, etc., or which ones I've got to do for myself. So that just kind of impacts it a little bit. So I'll get all of that out, and it just helps us plan a little bit easier. And then I'll have my Tesco shop open. So when I'm thinking about recipes, so we've got, for instance, what have we got here? We're looking at a Turkish chicken recipe, which is in the brand new magazine on page 63. So again, I've actually written down on my thing, Turkish chicken, page 63, so that when I come to cook it, I've got it there, and it's a lot easier to just get it together and sort out. So if I just find it in the magazine, so page 63 in there. So again, then I'll just have a little look through, and we had a clear out of our spices fairly recently, so I know pretty much what we've got in there, and I know that we haven't got any cinnamon, and we're going to need chicken thighs, and we're going to need some peppers, etc. So all the things that we haven't got, and cider vinegar, so they're all on my Tesco shop already, ready to go, and I'll do that as I go along. And also sometimes when you look at a recipe and you think, okay, that looks like it could be quite pricey, again, I can add it, see how much the ingredients are and see whether it's a goer or not, because, you know, for me and for probably lots of people, it can be a little bit tight money wise, so I have to kind of maybe adapt the recipes and think a bit wisely. Also, again, budgeting, it's quite a good idea. So if I'm, for instance, I've got a lasagna on Saturday night is what I'm planning, and it might be that, for instance, I make extra of that, and then I freeze some of the sauce. I'll freeze some of the lasagna, but if I've got some mince left from that, depending on how much mince I use, then I might be able to make a burger out of it, or a chili. Again, it's thinking sometimes if you're buying an expensive ingredient, how are you going to use that up? And one of the other places that I'll take inspiration from, apart from the magazines, the books, etc., Instagram and Facebook. So using some of the unofficial sites, but what I will say, I use them, they're great. There's brilliant ideas, but always double check the sin value, because for me, it's not enough for someone to say, oh, this is X amount of sins. I want to check it myself, because we all make mistakes, we're human. I know that I've made mistakes calculating things, so when it's my weight loss that could be impacted, I want to check it out myself. So that's a really important point to make. But apart from that, there are so many ideas out there. So I actually found a new account on Instagram this morning, which really took my fancy. She's called Froyo and Frylight, and she'd got some things that really caught my eye, because her tag on the top of her thing is making naughty food healthy. So she's got some things, so she's done like chicken nuggets and chips, but dippy eggs with them, halloumi sticks, but all things that will within your sins, using healthy extras, etc. So just making it a little bit more interesting. So I get a lot of inspiration off Instagram. Facebook, so the free food competition, again, we see so many lovely things posted on our Facebook group, so I'll get a lot of inspiration from that as well, and in group as well, when people mention things that they've tried. So it's listening out in group for all the fantastic things, and then giving them a go when you get home, and you can put your own stamp on it. So I think it's really easy, isn't it, to think to yourself, oh well, no, that's not my kind of thing. But sometimes with a few tweaks to it, we can make some changes. So for me, it might be something that's got gluten in it, but again, I can think of a way that I can change it so that I would be able to have it. So don't always dismiss ideas that you hear, because you might be able to make something really lovely based on that. And so that's how I plan. So it's literally going through all those sources that we've got available to you. The other one that I should have mentioned as well, Slimming World website, of course, because there are loads and loads of recipes on there. The other thing you've got is meal planners. So yeah, I know that not everybody enjoys planning meals. I am one of those people. I hate planning. I find it really tricky. So today when we've been planning, it's kind of, although I've got the laptop on to put my Tesco shopping, but it's trying to get rid of other distractions so that we can plough through it and get it done. I've still got more to do, unfortunately, but most of the week is done. But if you do really struggle, or you don't like that, you have got in the magazine, there's a 7-day planner. There's one of those in every magazine, you can see that there. So that gives you loads of great ideas. The other place that you can find some plans is on the website. So on the Slimming World website, under recipes and menus, you'll find a 7-day starter menu here. But then you've got loads of others. So on there, it gives you 7 full days, breakfast, lunches, evening meals, but you've also got vegetarian, student budget, family favourites, and extra easy SP. So if you fancy trying something a little bit different, or giving extra easy SP a go, again, this gives you just a few ideas as to how you can fit that in, and whether you follow it for the whole week, or mix and match meals, or just a couple of days. Again, it's another helping hand. So I think that's all I can think when it comes to planning. I hope it's helpful. Again, like I said at the beginning, I think it is different for everybody, whether you plan a day, a week, etc. in advance. I think some form of planning to be successful is going to be really essential, because otherwise things can creep up on us. If we're not prepared, if we're tired, it's very easy to grab at things. So again, you can bring sort of so many different things into it, thinking, for me, on a Wednesday, I know that I'm going to be tired when I get in on a Wednesday from group, because I'm leaving the house at 7 in the morning and I'm not getting home till after 8 at night, and then there's more work to do. So it's a really long day. And I know that much as I might fancy, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but like lasagna that I've got for Saturday, that's going to be a more time consuming meal to prepare. So I either need to have it prepared in advance, or I'm going to need to do something quick and easy, because much as I might fancy that when I get in, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be up to making that. So it's planning that ahead. And even if you're not planning your meals on a day-to-day basis, the most important bit and the most important tip I can give you is making sure that you've got your cupboards, your freezer, your fridge full of free foods that you can make meals from, because do you know what, that's the most important bit. Even if you haven't decided what you're going to have, if you've got things that you can make meals from, then you can have a really successful week. As I say, I hope it's helped, and I'll see you all in group this week.